Tommy and Diamond were supposed to be a unit. They brought CBI back, they handled the streets, they faced Miguel, Claudia, and the feds together. But now, things are different. Trust is broken. Everyone is moving selfishly. And the moment trust leaves, bullets always follow. Episode 2 starts with Tommy already on high alert. He knows the walls are closing in. The task force is tightening the pressure, Miguel is plotting from the shadows, and Vic is playing both sides like the coward he is. Tommy knows he's surrounded by snakes, but the problem is, he can't tell which one is the closest. And this is exactly where Diamond starts slipping. Remember how Diamond agreed to the idea of taking out D-Mac? Yeah, Tommy would never forgive something like that. D-Mac isn't just some soldier. That's family. And Diamond crossed a line he shouldn't have even been near. Tommy already feels D-Mac slipping away and acting reckless, and knowing his own partner greenlit the idea of killing him, that's betrayal on a whole different level. Meanwhile, Diamond thinks he's doing the right thing. He believes keeping control means making hard decisions, even if those decisions hurt the people closest to him. But what Diamond doesn't realize is that CBI is no longer one unit. It's turning into two sides. Jard and Shanti on one side, Tommy and D-Mac on the other. And Diamond is in the middle, thinking he can hold everyone together when the truth is, he's the reason the cracks started in the first place. Jard, being the impulsive clown he is fueled by rage and insecurity. He wants to prove he can be something without Tommy, without Diamond, without anybody telling him what to do. And of course, Shanti is still the mastermind behind him, whispering poison in his ear while smiling like she's innocent. She wants the throne. Jard wants respect. And Diamond? He's too busy trying to be a leader to see he's becoming a puppet. Tommy is watching all of this unfold like a man who's seen this exact movie before. Betrayal, ego, ambition. It's the same story he's lived through in New York. Ghost, Kanan, Dre, Tasha, everyone had their angle. Everyone had their own agenda. And Chicago is no different. The more Tommy realizes this, the colder he becomes. He starts cutting emotion out of every move he makes. That's why, in episode 2, when Tommy confronts Diamond, it's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's not even emotional. It's quiet, controlled, the most dangerous kind of confrontation. There is a moment where Tommy asks Diamond straight up if he ever planned to tell him about the hit on D-Mac, and Diamond freezes because he knows there's no good answer to that question. If he says yes, he's admitting betrayal. If he says no, he's admitting he was scared. Either way, he loses, and Tommy sees that. And that right there is the moment everything changes. Because Tommy isn't the type to let betrayal slide, not from strangers, and especially not from someone he called brother. So, when the tension finally snaps, when words aren't enough anymore, when Diamond tries to stand his ground, that's when it happens. One gun, one pull, one shot. Tommy doesn't shoot to kill, but he does shoot to send a message. A dangerous one, and now, there's no going back. Because once blood is drawn, alliances die. And Chicago? Oh, Chicago is about to drown in the fallout. After that shot, everything changes immediately. And I mean immediately, the street doesn't move slow when power shifts. Word travels fast in Chicago, faster than loyalty ever could. Diamond goes down, hurt, shocked, and furious all at once. And Tommy knows he can't stay there long because the moment anyone finds out what just happened, the city becomes a battlefield. But Tommy also knows something else. He didn't shoot Diamond to kill him. He shot him to wake him up, to tell him, "You crossed the wrong line." And now Diamond is sitting there, holding the wound, replaying every decision he's made up to this point. The D-Mac situation. Listening to Kilo, trusting Gerald. Letting Shanti whisper in the dark. It all hits him at once, and for the first time in a long time, Diamond feels like he's losing control of the empire he rebuilt. Meanwhile, Tommy is moving with purpose. He's calling in D-Mac, telling him, "Stay close. No stupid moves." But of course, D-Mac hears that Diamond was involved in that hit call, and something inside him snaps. This kid has always been impulsive, emotional, desperate to prove he belongs in the game. And now, he feels like he has proof that the world is against him, even the people who were supposed to love him. Tommy tries to calm him down, but we all know D-Mac doesn't listen. He wants payback. He wants respect. And that's exactly the kind of energy that makes things even worse. On the other side of the city, Jard and Shanti get the news. And oh, they are loving this. Jard has been waiting for the moment Tommy and Diamond turn on each other. That's the weakness he's been waiting to exploit, because Jard has never been strong enough to take power on his own. He always needs someone else to crumble first. And this is like a gift delivered to his doorstep. Shanti sees the opportunity instantly. She knows that if she plays this right, if she positions herself carefully, she can push Jard into the spotlight while she holds the strings behind him. That's her specialty, making the men think they're calling the moves while she's the one guiding every single piece, and don't think she doesn't know exactly what to do next. She tells Jard not to rush, not to celebrate too early. Instead, she tells him to wait for Diamond to get desperate. Because desperation is when leaders make mistakes. And Diamond? He's already bleeding, literally and mentally. Meanwhile, Claudia hears about the shooting too, and she just laughs. The worst kind of laugh. The kind that comes from someone who has nothing left to lose. She knew the brotherhood between Tommy and Diamond wasn't real. She knew power would tear them apart eventually. And now all she needs is the right nudge to finish the job. But while all these players are circling like sharks, Miguel is silent, which is always the most dangerous thing. He's not celebrating the chaos. He's not reacting. He's studying, watching, figuring out how to strike without leaving fingerprints. Because Miguel knows one thing better than all of them. Emotion gets you killed. And if Tommy and Diamond are now running off emotion, Miguel sees his perfect opening to take the crown without firing a bullet himself. And just when things seem like they can't get more tense, the task force, Stacy and her people, start closing in harder. They hear shots. They hear whispers. They hear betrayal. And to them, this is the beginning of the collapse they have been praying for. Stacy is convinced that if she pushes now, if she pressures Vic and corners Tommy, the whole operation will crack wide open. Vic is panicking because he's now stuck in the worst situation possible, trying to keep the truth from both sides while slowly losing his mind. He knows that if he slips even once, Tommy kills him. If he slips in the other direction, Stacy destroys him. And Claudia? Claudia wants him dead either way. This is where the episode starts getting heavy. Because now every relationship is strained. Every alliance is poisoned. Every move carries consequences. And the real question becomes, who is going to pick a side and who is going to get caught in the crossfire? Because make no mistake, Tommy shooting Diamond wasn't the climax. It was the spark, and Chicago is about to burn. The chaos after Tommy shoots Diamond doesn't slow down. It multiplies, and episode 2 makes sure we feel every second of it. Diamond isn't just injured. He's humiliated, betrayed by the one person he thought had his back. Every decision he's made, every alliance he thought he could trust, suddenly looks like a mistake. And as he struggles to process that betrayal, Tommy doesn't wait around for apologies. He moves, calculating every angle, watching everyone like a hawk because in his mind, hesitation is death. D-Mac is twitchy, ready to explode, still furious at Diamond for his recklessness and the hit on him. He wants action, and we all know D-Mac's impulsive energy is a ticking time bomb. If Tommy doesn't control it, D-Mac's gonna make things worse before anyone even has time to react. On the other side, Jard is soaking all of this in like it's a feast. He's smiling, scheming, thinking that with Diamond down, he finally has a chance to rise. But Shanti knows better. She's whispering in his ear, keeping him patient, reminding him that patience always wins when chaos is king. And make no mistake, Shanti is controlling this entire chessboard. She's the ghost in the machine, the one pulling strings while everyone else thinks they're in charge. Meanwhile, the tension between Tommy and Diamond is palpable. Every glance, every word, every movement carries weight. They both know the empire they built is cracking, and neither is willing to admit that this could be the end of their partnership. Tommy doesn't even trust Diamond to watch his back anymore, which is a dangerous place to be when the streets are full of people ready to stab you for the smallest misstep. And let's talk about Miguel, because this guy is always lurking in the shadows. He's patient. He's cold. He's calculating. While everyone else is losing their minds, Miguel is making moves in silence. He knows that Tommy shooting Diamond isn't just drama, it's opportunity. And the second Diamond falters, the second Tommy's focus shifts, Miguel will strike. Claudia, too, is having a field day. She's been waiting for the cracks in this operation, and now they're everywhere. She's pulling strings, setting people against each other, making sure no one can trust anyone. Even Vic is spiraling. He's caught in a nightmare between Stacy, Tommy, and everyone else. He knows one false move and he's finished. Yet somehow he can't stop himself from panicking, venting, and making mistakes. Stacy is relentless. She smells blood in the water and is pushing hard. Every action Tommy takes, every reaction Diamond makes, she's there to capitalize. And that's what makes this episode so tense, because no one has room to breathe. Trust is gone, loyalty is fragile, and power is shifting faster than anyone can predict. Diamond is already thinking about revenge. Tommy is calculating the next step. D-Mac is itching for violence. Jared is waiting for his moment. Shanti is orchestrating from the shadows, and everyone else is just trying to survive. Every scene, every confrontation is like walking on a knife's edge, and you just know that one wrong move is going to trigger a domino effect of chaos. The city is teetering, alliances are fracturing, and the fallout from Tommy shooting Diamond is only starting to reveal itself. Episode 2 doesn't just show the action. It shows the psychological war, the fear, the paranoia, the constant push and pull between power and survival. And for the audience, it's brutal, it's thrilling, it's edge-of-your-seat suspense because we all know, in this world, one bullet can change everything. And now we're watching it unfold in real time. Nobody is safe, nobody is loyal, and Chicago is about to prove just how deadly ambition can be. The aftermath of Tommy shooting Diamond isn't just a moment, it's a turning point. And episode 2 makes sure we feel every ripple. Diamond is bleeding, physically and emotionally, and every step he takes now is haunted by betrayal. He knows Tommy's warning wasn't empty, it was precise, calculated, meant to shake him to his core. But Diamond isn't the type to fold completely. He's stubborn, ambitious, and desperate to hold on to power, even if it means walking through fire. Meanwhile, Tommy is hyper-focused, moving through Chicago like a man possessed. He can't let his guard down for a second, because every move Diamond makes from now on could either stabilize their empire or destroy it completely. And D-Mac, he's watching, simmering, waiting for the perfect opportunity to prove he belongs, but also aware that one mistake could cost him everything. He knows Tommy isn't joking, and Diamond's mistake has put them all on edge. Jared is circling like a predator, convinced he can take advantage of the chaos, while Shanti is calculating 10 steps ahead, quietly planting seeds that will soon grow into full-blown conflicts. Claudia, as always, is smiling, knowing she doesn't even need to act yet. The chaos is feeding itself, and people are falling right into her hands. Miguel remains a ghost in the background, cold and patient, knowing that timing is everything. He doesn't need to act now. He just needs to wait for the right moment when everyone is at their weakest. And Tommy shooting Diamond has made that moment inevitable. And then there's Vic. Oh, poor Vic. He's spiraling faster than anyone else because he's now caught between multiple fires. Stacy is relentless, forcing him into impossible positions. Tommy is suspicious, and Claudia's revenge-driven mind is always one step ahead. Vic can feel the walls closing in, and every decision he makes could be his last. The tension is insane, because this isn't just a story about a bullet. It's about power, loyalty, ambition, and survival. Tommy shooting Diamond has shifted the entire balance. Now no one can trust anyone. Alliances are shaky at best, and enemies are circling like wolves ready to strike. The streets of Chicago are electric with danger. Everyone is acting, reacting, calculating their next move, and the fallout is only beginning. Diamond is trying to regain his composure, but the weight of betrayal and injury makes him unpredictable. Tommy is ruthless, determined to maintain control, but even he knows that one wrong move could trigger a chain reaction. D-Mac is volatile, Jared is scheming, Shanti is orchestrating, Miguel is waiting, Claudia is lurking, Vic is panicking, and Stacy is hunting. Every confrontation feels like it could explode into violence. Every conversation is a minefield. And the audience is left holding their breath, knowing that in this world, the smallest misstep can be fatal. Episode 2 takes us deep into that tension, showing us the psychological toll of betrayal, the paranoia, the strategies, and the raw desperation that comes from living in a city where power is everything, and loyalty is fleeting. Tommy shooting Diamond isn't just an event, it's a declaration, a warning, and a catalyst that will change everything moving forward. Chicago is teetering on the edge, and now we're all just waiting to see who falls first. After Tommy shoots Diamond, nothing will ever be the same, and episode 2 makes sure we feel the weight of that single bullet for every second it matters. Diamond is reeling, not just physically but mentally. The betrayal stings deeper than the wound itself. Every alliance he's built, every loyalty he believed in, now feels fragile, and he can't tell friend from foe anymore. Tommy's cold stare, the way he moves through the city now, shows that he's not just angry, he's strategic. He wants to send a message, not just to Diamond, but to everyone watching. Power is everything, and he's not about to let anyone forget that crossing him has consequences. D-Mac is a powder keg itching to explode, his impulsive energy threatening to set off chaos at every corner. He's smart enough to know he can't go against Tommy, but desperate enough to want to prove himself, and that combination is dangerous. Jard and Shanti are reading this like a map of opportunity. Jard, blinded by ego, thinks he can take advantage of Diamond's vulnerability, while Shanti, the true mastermind, is quietly planting seeds for a bigger game, the kind of moves that only become visible when it's too late. Claudia is watching it all with that cruel smile we've come to know. She knows she doesn't need to act yet because everyone else is already doing the dirty work for her. Miguel remains lurking in the shadows, patient, calm, knowing that this chaos is his moment to strike without risking himself. He sees the cracks in the alliances, the fear in Diamond's eyes, the rage in D-Mac, the greed in Jard, the manipulation of Shanti, and he knows that all he has to do is wait. Vic is spiraling faster than ever, trapped between the task force, Tommy, Claudia, and the lies he can't stop telling himself. Every breath he takes is a reminder that one slip could end him, and the pressure is building so high, it feels like it could explode at any second. Stacy, relentless as ever, is pushing Vic harder, hunting Tommy, testing everyone's limits, trying to turn this already tense situation into a complete collapse of power. And all of this? It's unfolding while the streets of Chicago hum with tension. Every movement is calculated, every word has meaning, every glance is a threat, because no one knows who will make the next move or who will be betrayed next. Diamond, despite his injury and betrayal, refuses to fold completely. He knows that if he gives in now, everything he's built will crumble, and he's not ready to let that happen. But every step he takes is dangerous, because Tommy's watching, D-Mac's restless, Jard's scheming, Shanti's plotting, Miguel's calculating, Claudia's waiting, and Stacy is hunting. The slightest miscalculation could end in death or destruction, and the tension is electric. Episode 2 doesn't just show us violence, it shows us the psychological warfare happening behind the scenes. Paranoia, fear, betrayal, ambition, and the raw desire to survive at all costs. Tommy shooting Diamond is more than a moment of shock. It's a catalyst for everything that will follow. It sets off a chain reaction that affects everyone, and the episode makes it clear that there's no turning back. Trust is broken beyond repair, loyalties are tested, and every character is now forced to confront the consequences of their choices. Diamond is forced to navigate a world where even those he considered family can betray him. Tommy is forced to lead with ruthlessness, showing that in this city, power and survival are inseparable. D-Mac teeters between loyalty and impulse, while Jard and Shanti exploit every crack in the foundation for their advantage. Miguel waits silently, ready to strike when the time is right, while Claudia manipulates events like a puppeteer, pulling strings from the shadows. Vic is collapsing under pressure, Stacy is relentless in her pursuit, and the city itself feels like a character. Alive, dangerous, unpredictable. And in the middle of all this chaos, one thing is clear. The shooting wasn't the climax, it was the spark, and the fire is just beginning. Alliances are fragile, tempers are flaring, and no one can be trusted. Episode 2 ends with tension at its peak, leaving viewers on edge, desperate to know what will happen next. Will Diamond survive not just physically, but politically? Will Tommy maintain control or lose everything he's built? Can D-Mac manage his impulse, or will it destroy them all? How will Jard and Shanti capitalize on the chaos? And when will Miguel finally strike? The episode proves that in Chicago, power is everything. Betrayal is inevitable, and one bullet can change the game forever. And for the audience, the message is clear. Hold on tight, because the fallout from Tommy shooting Diamond is far from over, and the streets are ready to swallow anyone who slips. Chicago is burning, alliances are collapsing, and episode 2 has only just begun to show the consequences of betrayal, ambition, and survival in a city where everyone is watching, waiting, and ready to strike the moment weakness appears. Nothing is safe, no one is untouchable, and one thing is certain. After this, everything will be different.